guys, welcome to Pretty Extra. I'm here today with my best friend, Ally Langan. So, Ally, today, tell us what you do.
So I am an account luxury manager. I work for The RealReal, so I'm in field sales. So everything that you see on the site is items that I'm actually picking up from consigners all over New York City. So I go from FiDi to the Upper East Side. And I manage a base of 1,500 consigners.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It must be really cool. Like, you see a lot of designer stuff and everything.
Yeah, I see a lot of designer stuff. I see a lot of luxury items. I've even seen pieces just straight off the runway that have never been in stores, which is very interesting.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I saw this piece the other day. It was a Versace piece. They were it's never been sold in stores. I work with a lot of consigners who are actually going to Paris Fashion Week, which is super cool. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds kind of a job that I would want to have. If I wasn't doing this, I would totally want to do that.
It's definitely fun, I'd say. I mean, I always did want to work in fashion. That was something I always loved.
Yeah.
I got this job kind of on a whim because I was laid off. And then I got my current apartment and I was like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? So then I was dog walking, babysitting, and I applied for this job.
Yeah.
And when they first emailed me back, I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm getting fished. Someone's phishing my email. This is not a real person. No way they actually emailed me back. And it was the recruiter.
Oh my God. You must have thought that it was the most amazing thing ever.
I ignored her for a week.
That is hilarious because you thought it wasn't real.
I think she was like, is this girl even interested in working here? No, I was.
That's so funny. Obviously, yeah. Because but oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah. So we have some tea today. We're going to be talking about the differences between dating in New York and dating in Miami. But Ally has a new boo.
I know. So...
Tell us about him.
Should I tell the story how we met? Because it's pretty funny.
Yes, but you need to tell his name, the nickname that you gave him.
So I nicknamed him Hot Dog Cart Man. Okay, and I'll explain why. So me and my friends, we went to this singles dating thing, and if anyone knows me, I'm not really into going to things like that. But I was like, oh, the first drinks are free. I'm there.
Of course.
Obviously, I'm there. So we go. And I met a few people there, but no one that really stood out to me. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm totally fine, being single. I like to be single and do my own thing. So I was like, all right. So I had probably 3 drinks. I was feeling myself. I was feeling
You're having
myself.
fun.
Oh, I was having a good time. I was feeling myself. So I walked to this hot dog cart down the street. It was on 86th Street in the Upper East Side. So we go down there. And I get my hot dog. I always get a hot dog with ketchup. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. I don't really get anything on it.
I'm even weirder. I get a hot dog completely plain.
No, you get it plain?
Yeah, just meat and bun.
Girl.
I'm like that with a burger too. It's kind of embarrassing.
No.
Whenever I order it, people are like, are you serious? Just the meat and the bun? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I get my drunk hot dog. I always get a drunk glizzy. I am the drunk glizzy queen. I don't care. I've gotten a drunk glizzy at 4 or 5 in the morning in New York before. Anyway, so I get this drunk hot dog and there was some random man kind of lurking around. This was not my new boo. This random man was just kind of scary. So I'm drunk eating my hot dog, just kind of observing. And this guy comes up to me about my age, and I don't even know what we talked about. I think we were talking about the hot dog cart because it was actually his favorite hot dog cart. And he's like, oh, it's so, I swear to God.
His favorite hot dog cart?
He goes, this is my favorite hot dog cart. And I was like.
Out of all the ones in New York City.
I guess. It's his favorite one.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he must have tried a lot of hot dog carts.
Yeah, right? It's his favorite one. So he comes over to me. We start talking. And I said to him, do you want my Instagram? And he goes, no, I want your number.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, spicy. Okay. So, so I give him my number and I really didn't think much of it. I'm like, all right, this is just going to be one of those, I'm drunk eating a hot dog. I gave a guy my number. He's probably never going to text me. I'm probably never going to hear from him again. 10 dates later and we're dating, which is wild, I fear. I was like, how did this happen? But it was just me drunk at a hot dog cart. That's how I met him.
That's pretty iconic.
And he knows some of my friends I went to college with, which is even crazier.
You know what's so funny? You hear these love stories and you think it's so much effort to find a man. My other friend, yesterday, she told me that she met her man at Staples.
Staples?
She was literally just like walking in Staples and she's like, yeah, I met him at Staples. And I'm like, Staples? And you met your man at a hot dog stand.
At a hot dog stand, like literally 3 drinks deep. Like I was not you were sober.
Not okay.
I was not sober. Like, let's be real. Homegirl was not sober. I mean, it's funny because then he knew people I went to college with. I went to a small college. Like I did not go to a Big Ten school. Like it wasn't very big.
Where'd you go?
I went to Quinnipiac University.
Where is that?
In Connecticut. Everyone always says that. They're like, where is that? Like it's like 20 minutes from like Yale University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's in Hamden, but it's like 20 minutes from New Haven.
That sounds like it's nice.
So we'd go like clubbing in New Haven. I remember one time like DJ Pauly D came to like Vanity, the nightclub we were at. And I was like, I'm there. If I need to sell a kidney, like I am selling a kidney. I will put it on Craigslist. Like I don't care.
Why is it expensive to get in?
It was like, well, I was like a broke college student at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have like $2 and like a hot girl outfit from Shein. Like, will that suffice for like me going to this club?
Dead. No, that's like one of like the differences between like Miami and like being up here like in the north, like New York area and stuff like that. Like in Miami, girls get into clubs for free. Like as long as you look cute, like you don't even have to have like clothes on pretty much. Like
Exactly.
you could be wearing like a bikini and they'll be like, oh, she's good looking. Like just go right in. You go to these clubs like up here and it's like, oh, $20, $50 for the girls, which I mean, okay, fine. But it's just like different,
I feel like Miami, it's like you go down there, you go like usually like when I would visit, I'd go with my friends. I put on like my hot girl disguise. I'd always have like 3 spray tans on.
Yep.
Like 3 spray tans. And then I touch it up. And I put on like the skimpiest outfit I could find.
Yep.
And then I just like take like, a little spicy like mirror selfie, like obviously with clothes on. Don't get any ideas here. But I'd like take one and then all the promoters would start DMing me and be like, oh my God, are you back in Miami? I'm like, I'm here. Like I have arrived. And then we just go to the clubs for free. Like I remember going to like Live for free.
Mm-hmm. And they're expensive.
11. Oh yeah, like the big clubs in Miami. And they are super expensive. And I mean, I feel like Miami, it's just such a different culture. It's like you said, like you can go.
It's like another planet.
Oh, 100%. But you could go like to Miami and like not really know anybody, but like look the part and you'll get into those places. I feel like New York, it's like, who do you know? Like, how do you know these people and who do you know?
It's a lot harder in New York. I personally, I mean, I like New York. I love it up here. It's very different though. Like in Miami, girls could literally just like walk into a restaurant and if they know that you're like an influencer or like a model or like just anyone, or if you just look really like cute, like a bunch of cute girls, they will give you like $200 worth of food for free. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that happened to us when we were down in Miami. We went to like one of the restaurants and the same thing happened.
Yeah.
It's just like how it is down there. And the company I used to work for, their headquarters was in Miami. Mm-hmm. So I used to go down a lot. And I knew a lot of people who like lived down there and they would tell me like, yep, you could just walk into these places. In New York, they'd be like, who are you?
Yeah,
like,
they don't care. They're like, okay, like, and?
Yeah. They'd be like,
pay for this?
Yeah. They'd be like, so credit or debit?
Yeah. And then like, also Miami, like they'll pay girls to go to the club. Like,
oh, yeah.
They literally will pay like $100, $200 for like, you have to pay here to go to the club. Yeah. In Miami, they'll be like, oh, we'll pay you because you're pretty. And they will pay a group of like 10 girls to just go for like 4 hours. They'll give them free drinks. Yeah. And then once your time is up, you just go. You don't have to do anything. Like you just like sit there and have fun. Like that's it.
You don't need to even talk to anybody if you don't want to. You just kind of like do one of these. You're like,
yeah, like I literally like will sit on my phone. Yeah. And I don't drink alcohol. So like I don't even drink any of that stuff.
You're like, I'm there for a fun time, not a drunk time.
Yeah. And like I'll interact with the girls and stuff. Right. We exchange like Instagrams and stuff. Like I network. But like the difference between Miami and here is like so wild.
It's night and day. It's completely different. Yeah. And even like the dating scenes are, oh my God, like so different.
Oh my God.
So different.
But the dating in Miami is like rough. Like if you're looking for a relationship, it's not going to happen.
It's like
you have to import someone.
You have to import someone.
I'm serious. Like every single girl that's like, oh, I want a boyfriend. I'm like, yo, like you either need to move or you need to import someone like from across the country or like from Nebraska
or you just like start playing Sims and like make, you know, you make yourself as a Sim.
Because like Miami is not the place to find a man. Like it's not. And then like once you find one, you can't like bring them to like the clubs and stuff because like they're just gonna find a new woman. Like
yeah, they'll be like, all right, later, like I see this like girl over there, like see you never.
There's just too much. It's like way too much. Like it's rough out there. I don't know, but like with Miami, like for instance, like I know you have dated a bit in Miami.
Oh my god, a lot of people who followed me on TikTok on this around this time and Instagram know this story. But I did. Okay. This is pretty funny. So it was 2022. At the time, I had just left law school. I left law school in that fall. And then the next year came around. So it was like early, like 2023. In 2022, I'd met him up here. He lived in Pennsylvania at the time, like right outside Philly. We went to the same college. And he had kind of run the idea by me that he was going to be moving down to Miami. And so me being, you know, supportive and nice, because that's how I am with like any of my friends or any guy I'm like interested or seeing, I was like, oh, if that like will make you happier, like you should really move down there. So he decides to move down there, and on his car ride, because he drove like in one day, like
I did that.
Yeah. Like I don't know how he did it, but he drove in one day. So he drove from Pennsylvania down to Miami. He like called me. He was like on the phone with me for like 2 hours. I'm like, okay, this guy like must really like me. Whatever. I go down a few times to see him, and like everything was going fine, but like he wouldn't put a label on it. And I was like, all right, this is kind of like sus and sketchy. And then I met this one girl he was friends with, and I don't have a problem with guys.
Friends.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with a guy having girlfriends. I want to make that like clear. But like this girl just gave me the worst vibes possible. Like,
and your intuition was right.
Oh, my intuition was 100% right. She had a boyfriend, and and then he was like with me. We were exclusive. He was cheating on me with her, and she was cheating on her boyfriend. And it was like a whole situation. And I didn't know till like then I saw he was like, oh, I need to focus on my job.
Focus on the job, sure.
Yeah. He was, oh, I need to focus on my job. Then he starts posting this like random girl I've never seen before in my life, like all over his Instagram stories.
A completely different woman?
Completely different woman, not his friend who's the girl, this other girl.
He moved to become a hoe.
I know, like he literally did. And like it was so bad. Like so he posts this other girl, and my friends all send me the story because now it's like embarrassing. Because now my friends like
it is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm like, this is why I hesitate to tell my friends about guys most of the time. So she's like, he's posting her on the story, and I'm like, who is this girl? Like, are they friends? Then they start posting like dating stories, like them going out to dinner. And
that doesn't happen in Miami ever.
Oh, yeah. So then I like.
So he must have been committed.
Oh, yeah. And then he had asked to borrow my belt bag to wear to like Ulta, whatever, like the music festival. So I'd asked for it back because I was going to Nashville with my friends.
Yeah.
And he like didn't answer my text. So then I Venmo requested him. I'm like, you know what? That was like $40. Like I'm not one to get like annoying like that. But I'm like, I bought that and like I want to wear it. It was just like inconveniencing me.
Yeah.
So I asked for it back. He didn't do it. I sent the Venmo request. He didn't do it. Then I was like, okay, that's fine.
He can't give you $40?
That's what I said. I was like, are we for real right now? Like, it's $40. Like, start a GoFundMe, like something. Like, you have 40 friends. Ask them each like for $1 if it's that important.
You can't afford $40?
No, like, exactly. But lives in Miami. Like, make it make sense. And then taking this girl on all these dates, but whatever. So he doesn't give it back to me. Then I start going on TikTok, and I was like, that's it. I'm just going to explain the story just like I am to you to like everyone I'm friends with. And I want to see what everybody says. People were outraged by this, like really pissed off. And they were like, how can he do that? Like, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, I know. And then eventually he texted me and was like, what's your address? I'll send you the bag back. So he sends it back to me. But another guy had actually
put like black magic on it.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Like he wore that thing to Ulta. Like who the hell knows what that bag touched? Like I had to like
he probably like had sex while wearing it.
I had to like spray Lysol on it and then holy water because I was like, there's something so wrong here. I busted out like my 12 years of Catholic school, I fear. I was like, here's some rosary beads. Like, for the love of God, like, I don't know what this bag has seen. This bag has probably seen more shit than me. So, Also, in this time period, I had gone to New Orleans and lost my phone. So my phone was traveling around China at this time. Oh my God. This was just like such a crazy time. So he sends me the bag back, but another guy who I just like knew had actually Venmoed me the money for the bag to buy a new one. He Venmoed me $40. And then
completely different guy.
Completely different guy. And another guy I was friends with.
That's kind of sad that another guy was willing to give you money for a bag.
Right? Like he Venmoed me the 40. And then another guy, he actually went to Lululemon, bought me a new belt bag. It was because it was around Easter time, and wrote me a card. Happy Easter. He's such a kind person. I'm still friends with him.
That's so cute.
He goes Jersey Girls Rock on the card. Yeah, it was sweet. So there was a lot of people who really got to know me through that story and like understand me and
supported you.
And I didn't expect anyone to care. I was like, no one's gonna give a shit about this. Like, why am I even posting about it? And so many people cared. And then me and his 2 ex-girlfriends became friends. And it turns out he was texting all of us at the same time.
No.
Yes, he was still texting his ex-girlfriends.
You're lying.
No, like I genuinely wish I was kidding.
Were you guys all laughing about it?
Oh, we still laugh about it. We're still friends. It's been almost 2 years. It's going to be 2 years, I think, around like March. It's going to be like 2 years.
Did you guys ever confront him about it?
Yeah. Like they told me all the stuff that he did to them, and it all kind of like lined up. He treated them really bad too. Like, and yeah, it all kind of lined up, and we all talked about it. And I said, would you guys feel comfortable like me making these TikToks and like mentioning like what you guys have told me? Like I asked them first. Mm-hmm. They're like, Ally, of course. They're like, let it rip. And I was like, are you guys sure? Like, I'm gonna like, yeah.
That is some major tea.
Yeah. We all went to Quinnipiac together. The two other exes went to Quinnipiac with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we call him Mr. Belt Bag Stealer.
Oh.
Yeah. He's known
the names
to,
that you come up with.
Yeah, Mr. Belt Bag Stealer. Because, I mean, he was. Everyone refers to him as the Lululemon Belt Bag Stealer. Anyone who asks me about the story, like, that is what he is referred to as, which is wild.
Iconic.
Yeah. Yeah. But it
I
was
don't
wild.
love it for you, but I love it for you.
I couldn't even believe it. Like, looking back, like, almost 2 years later on it, I'm like, wow. Like, that really did happen. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't even believe that someone would act like that. It was like so beyond me. I was like, there's people like this that exist. Like
the dating stories like that I have gone through. I mean, me and you have gone through some similar situations.
We've been through the war zone, I fear. We've been in the trenches. Like
we have been in the trenches. Luckily, we have gotten out and we've survived, and we have made it into a peaceful, safe space now.
Yeah.
I'm in a safe space now. But my God, like.
Witness some, like, next level.
Yeah.
Even this guy I dated, like, not too long ago. We were dating. Oh, my God, this is so funny. And he's like, oh, I really like you, whatever. This man calls me up at 10 in the morning and goes, I can't afford to date you.
No.
Wakes me up out of a dead sleep. I have my phone like on sleep mode when I'm asleep. You know how many times you need to call someone's phone when they're on sleep mode? Like at least 2. I think it's at least 2. So I'm like dead asleep.
He literally said, I can't afford you.
That is what I heard when I picked up the phone. He's like, hey, Ally. I'm like, hi. And he's like, so I can't afford to date you. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I can't afford to date you. I thought about it. Like, I owe all this money on my car, and like, I'm trying to buy a house. I'm like, sir, you live at home with your parents. Like, no shade, but like, you live at home with your parents.
Oh my God.
I was like, this can't be for real. Like, and I honestly like was kind of unfazed because it was also Memorial Day weekend, and I live right by the Jersey Shore. That's where I grew up and where I'm from. So I was like, okay, we're ripping some shots. Like, that's what we're going to do.
That's so beta.
Oh, it was so beta and so weird. Like, I was just like, wow, is this actually happening to me? And then I kind of was like, oh, okay, that's unfortunate, and just hung up.
How long were you dating him for?
Like a week. Like it wasn't anything serious.
I thought it was going to be like 8-9 months.
No.
A year.
I met him off Raya, and he's like.
Oh, so then he's like a person, like an important kind of person.
He was related to a very famous baseball player back in the day who actually was married to Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
So that's his like great-great-grandfather or something.
Okay.
So they're related.
And he can't afford you.
I was kind of
just
like,
goes to show. Yeah. Just because there's someone doesn't mean that they could afford you.
I just thought it was kind of funny. Like I laughed, and then I went out.
What was his zodiac sign?
He was a Capricorn.
They're supposed to be hardworking.
Yeah, I know.
What?
He was a Capricorn.
What did he do for like?
He worked in like pharmaceutical sales. Like he did like well. So that's why I was like a little bit like, really?
I'm a bit taken back right now.
Oh, I was like dead asleep. I got that call and I was like, wow, okay. And then my friends from home were like, you're coming home, right, for Memorial Day? I go, yeah. And like all my guy friends were like buying me free shots. And yeah, we're celebrating.
It's the best when you have like good guy friends and like you're going through a breakup and they're like, oh, we got you.
Yeah. And like even my girlfriends, like they all were like calling me, texting me. They're like, that's insane. And I was just like, kind of, I feel like when you go through so much stuff with so many crazy guys that you're kind of like unfazed at one point.
Literally.
I feel like I got to the point where I was like, I'm unfazed. And it's like that's
nothing
their
shocks you.
Exactly.
Especially when something like so bad happens to you, or like so many bad things, like you have so many bad experiences. It's like at this point, nothing will just like shock you. It's just like, oh, another one.
You're like, oh, there we go again. Like,
yeah.
And you just like laugh it off. Like I was just kind of got to the point where it was like, I guess this is kind of mature of me, but like I was like, that's like their problem and just not my issue.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go have fun with my friends and rip some shots. And that's what I did.
So like, what do you feel like the New York guys are like? Like, are they cool?
They are interesting. So, I mean, the guy I'm with now is great. Like, he's awesome. But they always just want to go for drinks. Like, a lot of them,
it?
I swear, like, half the time that I would engage with a guy from New York, he'd be like, so, like, where do you want to get drinks? Like, let's get drinks. Their biggest thing is being like, let's get drinks. They always say that.
And like, do they ever want to do anything else? Like, there's Broadway, like ice skating here. Like,
there's so many other things to do. Like, there are the rare guys that will be like, let's go to dinner or let's do Broadway or let's do something like a comedy show. Like the guy I'm with now, what I liked about him is like on our second date, we went to a comedy show.
Yeah, that's cute.
And what was cool is there was actually people from SNL there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh my God, I would love that.
So in my favorite.
That's a good date.
Oh, it was such a good date. Like we went there and they bring out like my favorite guy from SNL. He's like younger. He's so funny. And they bring him out and I'm like, I looked at him and I was like, no shot. He's here right now. That is my favorite person from SNL. And he came out and his set was the funniest one of the night. I mean, everyone was like cackling. Laughing.
God. Yeah.
But that was cool because he always wants to do kind of like different things. Like we went to the Met. We went to the Met Gala and like we went to like got dinner and then we went to like the Met, which was cool.
Yeah.
But he always wants to do like different fun things, which is nice because it's like we don't just like go to dinner. Like we always try to do something different or kind of like so out of pocket, which like, out of pocket in a good way. I've seen the bad out of pocket.
What is this guy's zodiac sign?
He is a Pisces.
I have never dated a Pisces, so I don't know what it's like. But Chi-Chi, my dog, is a Pisces, and I love her to pieces. So I would assume that your new man, hot dog boy.
We love hot dog cart man.
We love hot dog cart boy man. He, I think that he's the one. I think he's a good fit for you.
He's definitely a good fit for me. I'm a Virgo, so my birthday just passed. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before.
Happy late birthday.
I know. I feel like old, like being 26. Like
you're still a baby.
I know, but I feel like once you get past like 25, you start to be like, and like now I'm closer to 30, which is so crazy to me. I'm like, how am I closer to 30? Like, how did this happen? Like, rewind it.
I know
like,
the feeling. It's honestly depressing.
I'm like, how did this happen? Like,
but like honestly, at this point in your life, like you start to feel like you get to like actually feel like you know who you are. Like, I thought that I knew who I was when I was like 21, 22, 23, and I didn't. Like, I'm just starting to like figure out who I am now, and you probably will too.
I feel the same way because I feel like, and a lot of people can relate to this, like at 20, 21, like I had a boyfriend in college for 2 years. And then we broke up because he cheated, which but we broke up.
He cheated?
No.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. But it wouldn't have worked out anyways because he lived in Massachusetts and I lived here.
Okay, yeah.
So it would have never really worked out. And we're completely different people.
Yeah.
But after leaving college, like I partied a lot and I'd like go out every weekend down the Jersey Shore, or I'd be like, sometimes I go to New York City, but mostly the Jersey Shore, and I'd be out like every single weekend.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're in your early 20s, you have some friends who like aren't like genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you start to go through your 20s, you start to meet like your friends who actually genuine and care about you. Like I do feel like there were some people who I was around that genuinely, like, I don't even know if they liked me. I think they just like liked kind of going out with me and like hanging around me and like, you know, getting that level of attention because, oh, okay, cool. She knows everybody. Or
I know exactly what you mean.
She's a pretty girl and she has pretty friends. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'll associate with them. And I feel that way like in my early 20s. I felt like that with a lot of people I was friends with. And like now a lot of people who are friends with, like their main thing that will be like, oh my God, you're so funny, or you're so kind, you're so thoughtful. And I used to never really get those kind of compliments.
Yeah.
So I feel like now that I got like older, I'm like, wait, okay, these are like genuine people around me who I still have fun with. Don't get me wrong. Like, like when we go out, like, like hide your kids. like we're at the club, like hide your kids, like
hide your wife,
hide your kids, hide your wallets.
Definitely hide your wallets.
Like we still have fun. But it's like those people actually like me. Like, you know, and I can go do other things with them. It just doesn't need to always be about going out and getting bombed at the club. Not like that's not a fun time. Don't get me wrong. I like going to the club. But you want
to like be able to like sit at home with them and like literally do absolutely nothing and be cool with that. Like it shouldn't always be like, oh, we have to go out.
Yeah, like my one friend group, what I love about them, we always do like different things. I mean, they asked me to go camping and like no offense, love them. I'm not a camping girly, okay?
I think I would die if I went camping.
I almost did. I got Lyme disease when I was little from camping.
Serious?
We were on a Girl Scout trip. And they were like, you're going to have Cabin Eagle. And I was like, this is great. We're going to get a cabin. I'm in like 3rd grade. We get a ground tent. And it was 101-degree heat wave.
Oh, hell no.
And we get back. And my mom's like, you have something behind your ear. I'm like, oh, it's probably just like a freckle. No, it was a tick. And literally got Lyme disease, had to take medicine. That was my last and first experience camping. I would never do it again. We took my dad's pickup truck. We were in this cherry red pickup truck that my dad only bought because it came with a TV, which real on his part.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm never going camping again. So this friend group, they're like, let's go camping. I'm like, I'll watch the dogs. Like I will watch everybody's dog. I don't mind. But they like to do kind of different things. They did like a hot ones, like wings challenge. Like we did it as a friend group.
I don't even know what you do in camping. Like when I was growing up, I was also a Girl Scout and they did like the camping and stuff. And my parents were very overprotective of me because I'm an only child.
Right.
And so they never wanted me to go camping or anything like that. And I would want to, but it just never happened. Now that I'm older, I mean, I used to actually, to everyone's surprise, I was a tomboy when I was a kid.
So was I.
Hated the color pink. I hated it more than anything. My favorite color was actually like a moss green. Oddly.
Not the moss green.
Yeah, like a really ugly green. It was so bad.
You said brat era before brat era.
Yeah, literally. I was brat as a kid and now I am like extra. It's just like, it was so bad. I was like, I would run home to play video games. Like I was nerdy. I would want to skateboard. My parents wouldn't let me do that. They wouldn't let me go on a trampoline. Like they thought I was going to like just die doing anything. And then I grew up and eventually I just realized, you know what? I don't want to go camping because my boyfriend was like, oh, we should maybe go camping. And I was like,
You're like, how about no?
I was like, we can't order Uber Eats camping.
There's no DoorDash out here.
I was like, I really thought about it. I was like, I can't shower and that. Like, I'm a legit germaphobe. Like,
so am I.
I cannot not shower. Like, I will go nuts. I really thought about it. I'm like, where am I going to go to the bathroom? Like, it's just not for me. Like, it's not. And I remember though, like, this is like kind of traumatic as a kid, but like now I laugh at it. I remember one time I really wanted to go camping and my parents were like too scared for me to go camping. So they bought a tent for me to do it in my backyard.
Oh God.
And they still didn't want me to go camping because like there was like coyotes and stuff. And one day I go, Mommy, where'd my tent go? She used it for mulching in the backyard. Like, you know, like so that like the weeds don't come up.
Yeah,
she like laid it down and then put the mulch on top of it.
Stop it.
She used the tent for mulching. Because I didn't see it in the garage anymore. I'm like, where'd it go? And I'm like maybe 10 years old.
Yeah.
it was gone. She used it, a whole tent for mulching. She bought the tent. I was like so excited to use it, and there it went. It was gone.
Camping always reminds me. Do you ever watch like SpongeBob as a kid?
Yeah.
Do you know that one episode with like the sea bear when they have to draw like the circle or like the square? Yeah. And like Squidward keeps getting attacked by the sea bear. That reminds me of camping. Like I fear that would be me. Like I'd be Squidward and I wouldn't be able to draw the circle, square, whatever the hell they drew, and I would get attacked not by a sea bear, by like a black bear or something. How
are you supposed to eat? Like, what am I don't know how.
Like, is it like astronauts? Like, do I bring like freeze-dried stuff and like hope for the best?
I have a friend, I love her to pieces. She wants to do like that Survivor show.
Oh God, no. I'd be dead.
I was like, I watched it and I was like, people do this.
Like, this show's real.
I was like, what? I'd be dead within hours. Having a spear for like food and stuff. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
I'd like somehow injure myself.
Those people should win like $1 million. I mean, I don't know what the prize is. I think so, like, maybe they do, but like,
I think it is $1 million if you like.
They need to win a lot of money.
Yeah. I remember my dad was obsessed with the show Survivor. Growing up, we had a beach towel, a Survivor beach towel. And one day it went missing. And my dad, I thought he was going to have like a heart attack. He's like, where is my Survivor beach towel? I mean, I have a brother, right? He was like, fuck them kids. Where's my Survivor beach towel?
Back to regular scheduled programming.
We love that for us.
Yes, we love that for us. Kind of, not really.
It's kind of funny.
It's been a day. Can we just discuss how we ended up coming in here?
I say we take it from the top. So obviously, you usually host in Miami and we're in New Jersey.
Yes.
So I live in North Jersey. I live in Hoboken. And then you live in Miami now. So she books this room at this place. It's like in the Short Hills Mall. It's called what? Industrious? Like, yeah, it's called Industrious. And I call her and I'm like, hey, like I'm here. Like I'm outside the Bloomingdale's. And she's like, okay. She comes in with this giant suitcase. Okay.
Yeah.
Huge. Like huge suitcase. And then she has like a little briefcase. I'm like, let me like help you. So I like grabbed the little like briefcase. Then we're looking for this place. No, I don't think you understand.
I didn't know where I was going. And I was like, I told her that I was going to be here like 30 minutes early. And I came like 30 minutes late.
Well, then we got here and we were like, where the hell is this place? We're like, we're walking around. They're like, you need to go into the Crate and Barrel. And we're like, okay, we're in the Crate and Barrel. They're like, walk through the Crate and Barrel. So we walk through, we get to the elevator. The elevator doesn't work.
Yeah. And I was not going to lug all that stuff up the stairs.
We were like, what do we look like?
To top it all off, like I didn't want to walk through the mall like this.
Yeah.
So I wore like a big black like hoodie and I looked homeless because I literally was just wearing baggy pants, a baggy hoodie, and I had like a giant luggage and a giant briefcase. So
you
it was
looked
just
like
so bad.
A from Pretty Little Liars. Like I was a diehard like Pretty Little Liars fan growing up, and I was like, "Hey, babe, is that you from Pretty Little Liars?" And then she had the giant suitcase, and then the guy at the front desk was like, "Are you going to the airport?" I'm like, "Yeah." How'd you know? Like
he literally he asked. He was like, "Oh, you live in Miami, so like, are you going back today? Like, are you flying back?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I'm not." Oh, tomorrow? No.
You're like, eventually, like after the hurricane.
Yeah.
Not trying to fly into the hurricane.
No,
like I'm good on that. Pretty sure there's a hurricane going on.
Yeah, it's just like with so much like podcast equipment, like the lighting, the camera stuff, like the audio equipment. It's just like a lot that I have to like travel with, and like it's delicate stuff. So I don't want to like pack it all like smushed together. So then like I'm going to a Rutgers football game after this.
Stop it. Yeah. I'm so jealous.
So I have an extra pair of clothes. I have some makeup in there. So like that's why I have the luggage and like my lights. I have like 3 of them up right now. So it's like a lot to carry with me, you know? I have an office in Miami, but when I'm traveling like with my podcast equipment, because sometimes like people will be far or whatever, I have to bring suitcases, and sometimes I'll bring Chi-Chi too. So I will be traveling with all that stuff and my dog.
And Chi-Chi?
Imagine like my dog in my arm.
Okay.
Or I'll have her in a stroller.
Stop
because
it. You have a stroller for her?
Yes.
That's iconic, I fear.
I'll put like the briefcase and the stroller with her because it's just easier, and I'll be rolling both of the things.
Stop. You're like, Chi-Chi, obviously, like, your priority, but that is too funny. And Chi-Chi just like, forget all this other shit. Like, I'm the main star of the show.
Chi-Chi is the main star of the show.
Didn't you walk with her in like Fashion Week?
I did. I walked with her in New York Fashion Week.
Stop it.
It was Chi-Chi's moment. It wasn't my moment. It was Chi-Chi's moment.
Yeah, Chi-Chi was like, she's just like my side human. Like, I'm here. Like,
I just had to be her guardian.
Yeah.
Because, she's a puppy.
Right. You're like, I need to sign off. Like, I need the human here for the paperwork.
Yeah.
But like, I am the runway model.
I'm her momager.
Your momager. No, she's so funny. Like,
I love her. She's so cute. She's like literally 3 pounds, 7 ounces.
How'd you come up with the name Chi-Chi? Like, what made you want to name her that?
So when I had gotten her, I was like struggling with a name so badly. And I just kept calling her because like she's a Chihuahua. And I was like, oh, my little Chi-Chi, my little Chi-Chi. Because it's like short for Chihuahua. And my boyfriend, he was like, why don't you just call her Chi-Chi? And I was like, no, like I want to give her like a cute, like feminine like name.
Like princess.
Yeah, like something like, I was like Coco Chanel, like all these like bougie names. And,
like Hermes or something.
Yeah. I was like thinking of like all these like random names.
Yeah.
And a week goes by. I even posted about it. And one of my friends, she even said, you should name her Chi-Chi. And I just kept calling her Chi-Chi so much. Oh, my little Chi-Chi, my little Chi-Chi. Because I didn't know what else to name her. That eventually it just stuck. And I was like, you know what? You're Chi-Chi.
Yeah. Like Chi-Chi, that is your name.
That is your name. Your name is Chi-Chi. And I call her Cheech for like short. I'm like, you're Cheech. And now everyone like loves the name. Like people will be like, oh, what's her name? And I'm like, Chi-Chi. Everyone thinks she's a boy. When I'll literally be walking with her with pink clothes on, like full decked out pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, he's so cute. And I'm like, she literally could not have more pink on.
Yeah. You're like,
she'll have like a pink stroller. She'll have a pink sweater, a pink leash, pink collar, like everything, diamonds on her.
Yeah.
Juicy couture stuff. Like, and like people will, oh, he is adorable. And I'm like,
you're just like, why? Like, I mean, I guess like a boy dog like could wear pink, but I mean, the obvious thing would be like, obviously it's a girl dog. I mean, they could, but like, it's like, I don't know. If I saw a dog in all pink, I'd think, oh, it's a girl dog. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, he's so cute. If I saw like a Rottweiler with a spiked collar, like I wouldn't be like, oh my God, did you name her Princess? Like, she's adorable. Like, I try
to make her look so feminine.
Yeah.
People just think she's a boy.
They're like, oh
I try so hard, and I can't put bows on her because she has like no fur.
She's bald.
She's like literally bald. She has like the tiniest little like specks of hair. So like I would literally have to clip it onto her skin, and that would like be so terrible. So I can't put a bow on her. So I'm like, okay, like I'll just deck you out in all like pink clothing.
It's like the guys with like receding hairlines who wear like baseball caps. Don't even
get me started with it.
I have a guy in my phone, like the belt bag dude I was talking about. His name is receding hairline with a gravestone. So what I do when guys like mess with me and like F me over is I call it the graveyard, and I put a gravestone next to their contact name and a reason why.
That's brilliant.
I have about 20 of them in my phone from years and years like accumulated ever since I was like, probably like 16, 17 years old. And I nicknamed it the graveyard, and I have some really funny ones in my phone. Do that
with like girlfriends too that have like screwed you over?
No, because I'm just like, I mean, friendship breakups are horrible. We've all had like bad friendship breakups, but like, I don't know. I feel like with guys, it's just, they make it too easy, right? I'm like,
it's funnier with guys.
Yeah, it's funnier with guys because girls, I mean, I could probably think of some good ones for some people, but like with guys, they just make it like so easy. Like they just do like really cringy things. Like, and I'm like, wow, like it just comes to me. Like,
I know. So I have a question for you. Like, what do you feel like the difference, like, because you worked a little bit in Miami, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make friends in Miami a little bit?
Yes.
Do you feel like there's a difference in the friendships in Miami compared to up here in New York?
Yeah. I feel like, oh, yeah. Like, okay. When I worked in Miami, the people I worked with, they were nice, but a lot of them would like go out a lot. I do go out a lot too.
You think you go out a lot here until you go to Miami.
Until you go to Miami. And the thing with the work culture is so different. Like I feel like in Miami, when they were done at 5, they were done at 5. You would not be hearing from them after 5 until 9 the next day or 8 the next day when we started work.
Sometimes you don't even hear from them for like 2 days.
Yeah, like in New York, and then like in this area, like people work after hours a lot. Like you will hear from people after hours, and like people take their job like really seriously. And like in Miami, it's more like people do care about their jobs. In Miami, they do care, but it's like there's more an emphasis on kind of like going out and like having fun. And not that there isn't as much up here, but I do feel like Miami, it's more about like having fun, having a good time. And people like value that kind of like more in Miami. And then
like enjoying life.
Yeah, enjoying life. And there's such, which I was surprised when I would go down there, such a health and fitness culture down there that is so big. I think because it's so nice out, like walking around, I think it's called like the Key or something, like in Miami.
Like Key Biscayne.
I think it's like
Brickell Key. There's like all different
Brickell Key. It's Brickell Key. So Brickell Key, like people go on this like walking path, and it's also everyone has like a dog. So what they do is they go on this walking path. Then they have the Brickell Run Club. They have like a lot of things they do to be like healthy. Not like New York doesn't. But there's just more of an emphasis, I feel like, on being like healthy down there and walking every day. Because I think it has to do with like the weather.
Yeah, the weather's so nice that you want to be outside.
Exactly. I mean, unless it's like the summer and it's like 100 degrees and like you feel like you're melting. But
then
like,
you'll like go swimming or something.
Yeah. I feel like down there is more of an emphasis on that. And it's not as like, you know, I feel like to get ahead sometimes up here, people do have to work like after hours a lot. There's more of like a grind culture when it comes to work. And I do feel like the people down there like to sometimes have a little bit more fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Like most of the people, like they don't even like work. Like
yeah. Like
they're either like OnlyFans models, crypto dudes.
A lot of crypto dudes. A lot of
real
crypto
estate
dudes.
agents, which like that's like a job. Like,
heavy on the real estate agent too.
Like I mean promoters.
Ton of promoters. They like work in the clubs too. A lot of bottle girls.
These bottle girls, like they can literally work like 1 day a week and be set.
Oh, exactly, because they make so much money at the club.
Yes.
Like some people do have like real like 9 to 5s there, but it's not like up here everyone has like a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
There's not as many. There's influencers, but there's not like as many.
Yeah.
I feel like, and not a lot of like there are people who work in like the bars and stuff like that, and like the service industry, which I have like so much respect for those people because I did it and it's not easy. But I feel like in Miami it's a little bit more like having fun, being outside, and up here it's
enjoying
life. Like up here it's like if you're not working after 5, like everyone's
you're a
like,
loser.
Right. Everyone's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
And it did change a little bit like after COVID with like the remote work culture and like hybrid work culture. Like some people got a little bit more freedom, which I think everyone enjoyed. Everyone was like, thank God. But it is so different with like the people down there too, and dating down there and everything. It's so different from up here.
No, I agree. So now it is time for my absolutely not segment.
I'm excited.
I am going to be asking Ally basically like the differences between 2 different types of men between Miami and New York, and she's going to pick her absolutely not. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, first one. Absolutely not to the Miami friend who only hits you up when there's VIP table available at Live because they're a promoter and they're getting paid to bring you. Or absolutely not to the New York City guy who, instead of taking you out for dinner on your first date, insists on staying in and cooking because restaurants are overrated and he's really into meal prep right now.
Oh, God. This is a tough one. Okay. I'd have to say the second one with the New Yorker who insists on staying in and not going out to restaurants. I'll tell you why. I feel like with dating, I said this to my current boyfriend, I don't like when a guy doesn't put in effort. I don't consider staying in and cooking like effort, in my opinion. Like if you take the time to pick out a good restaurant, like plan a quality date when I'm meeting you off the bat, I mean, personally, I think that's going to make me like you a lot more. Like, I think it just...
Especially like when you first meet. Like, it just sounds like he just wants to, like, get in bed with you.
Exactly. And, like, you can only make one first impression on somebody. And I feel like if that's, like, the first impression they're going to make, it's like, okay, is that all we're ever going to do? Like, are we ever going to go out and do fun stuff? And it feels like they're also trying to keep you a secret. Like, I don't like that.
You know, I never thought of that.
Like, they're trying to keep you, like, a secret.
That's the tea.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, God.
That's the tea.
You're like, I didn't even think of that.
I did not think of that.
I don't want to be a sneaky link. I don't do that.
I agree.
Yeah, no way.
Next question. Absolutely not to the New York City guy who takes you to a hole-in-the-wall dive bar and acts like it's a 5-star restaurant because it's so authentic. Or absolutely not to the guy who hypes up a hidden gem for dinner only to take you to a random spot in Hialeah and acts like it's a Michelin star restaurant because they make the best Cuban sandwiches in the city.
Oh my God, those are both crazy.
You know what Hialeah is, right?
Yeah. I'd have to say the second one. I feel like that's
not to Hialeah.
I feel like that is just like so weird too when someone tries to like hype up a restaurant like that, like just, you know.
Oh my God, this is gonna be so great, and then like you're so underwhelmed.
Yeah, I just like don't like you know what's better when someone doesn't hype up a restaurant. Like I remember for my birthday, like we were supposed to originally go to this one restaurant, and then I was running late. I always run late, and we went to a different one, and the one he picked, the different one, was like a 4 or 5-star restaurant. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I see you.
This one is pretty funny. Absolutely not to the guy who invites you to a restaurant in the meatpacking district, but then complains about the prices the entire time. Or absolutely not to the guy who takes you to a fancy dinner on Ocean Drive, orders the most expensive items on the menu, and then casually suggests splitting the bill because that's what independent women do.
I mean, guys, it has to be the second one. I don't know about you, but like, I have never split the bill with a guy on a date. Have you?
You know what's so funny? No, but I had this one guy that... This is so sad.
I know it's because you're already laughing.
He was my friend, and he thought that I wanted to date him for some weird reason, and I don't know why. He wanted to go to Panera after work.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Like, he was my friend. I thought it was cool.
Right.
And I ordered my food, and I'm eating, and he didn't order food. He didn't eat. I paid for my own food.
Right.
And then he just starts eating off of my food.
No.
Yes.
No, that's horrifying.
Yes.
That is. Do you see what I'm so scared for you?
He like couldn't. I'm assuming. I don't know. Like, I mean, I kind of feel bad because like, you know, some people like can't afford food. Like he probably like couldn't afford food or something. But then he went and told everyone that we went on a date. That's what like
that would have weirded me out.
That's what weirded me out.
Right. Like it's like one thing if he can't afford.
I would have bought him food if he couldn't afford food. Like
right.
It's just like then he went and told because he didn't even ask me, oh, could we go on a date? He just like asked me like, oh, could like you want to go like to Panera after work? Like,
the fact
and
that
we
he
were
advertised
friends.
it as a date that's weird.
He told everyone.
That's really weird.
And then everyone's going up to me, oh, you guys went on a date? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I bought myself food and then he ate off of it. He wasn't even eating like his own food, like nothing.
He really like he embarrassed himself, I fear, for that. Like that's really bad.
I was horrified.
I would have been traumatized. I would have been like, I need to go to therapy. Like I need to call up my therapist and we need to have a little yap session about this.
I'm going through EMDR therapy for PTSD and I should really talk to him about this.
You need to be like, anytime I go into Panera Bread, like I
can't go to Panera
triggered.
I can't do it.
That's traumatic. Like what if you want
hard.
the mac and cheese? Like then what?
You know, I've never had mac and cheese.
Are you serious?
I swear.
Girl.
I don't really like cheese too much.
Okay. That's fair.
And my parents never gave it to me growing up because of that. I've started to like cheese more, but like that yellowy, orangey cheese, like American cheese, like no, I don't really like that kind of stuff.
The Panera Mac, it hits.
It hits.
Especially if you're hungover. Like I've been down bad before in the trenches and I'm like DoorDash, where's Panera? And I'll like DoorDash Panera to my door and like slept downstairs in like my giant sweats and hoodie looking like Eminem from 8 Mile. And I open the door and it like creaks open. I'm like, grab my Panera and like run back inside.
What kind of cheese do they put in that?
I think it's like, it's not like that orangey cheese. I forget what it's called, but maybe like Parmesan, not Parmesan, but like it's like that white cheese. Maybe like white cheddar. I think it's white cheddar.
One day we will go together.
Okay.
I will try some.
I will make you go to Panera with me and we will go.
Okay. Now this one. Friendships in Miami. Absolutely not to friends who only want to hang out to take Instagram pics. Like no other reason. Just like they literally want to hang out just to take Instagram pictures.
Did they bring a ring light?
Yeah, like they just want to take pictures. They don't want to be with you. They just want someone to take their pictures. Yeah. Or absolutely not to the guy who makes a quick stop after your date to take Instagram photos in front of every graffiti wall he could find.
Shit, this one's hard.
Imagine like you're literally like on a date and he's like, oh, yo, I need to take a picture in front of this graffiti wall.
Oh my God. I think I'd be like horrified. I think it has to be the second one. Like I've had friends who like in the past, like I was in a sorority, right? So I've definitely had friends who like would only want to take like Instagram pictures with me, which is, again, totally fine.
It's kind of expected with girls.
Exactly.
Like, we love pictures.
And like guys though, I'm like, oh no. Like, oh nar. Like I don't want to take pictures of him in front of a graffiti wall.
It's kind of like feminine when guys are like so into themselves that they want pictures.
I don't know. Would agree.
Like it's kind of like, unless if they're like this like big fitness model or something. I mean, even then, but like, I don't know. It's just like typical when like women want like pictures all the time compared to like dudes. I mean, like it's cool if that's what they want to do, but like
unless if you're on like vacation or you're somewhere really cool, like I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But like to every time you go to like a restaurant as a guy, always want pictures. I feel like that's kind of strange in my opinion. Yeah, like that'd be kind of strange. Like, could you imagine like sitting across from a guy on a date and be like,
babe, take a picture of me.
Yeah, like take a picture of me with this like tortellini in my wine glass. Like I'd be like, no, like you can't be fucking for real right now. Like, please tell me you're joking. I'd be like, where's the cameras? I'm unpunked. Like,
I know. I've had moments like that where I thought I was being punked.
Yeah. I'm like, what would you do? Where's that guy for what would you do?
Okay. We've got 3 more. Absolutely not to the guy in Miami who asks for your Instagram before your name. Or absolutely not to the New York City dude who thinks that dating apps are a networking opportunity.
This, I feel like the second one, I'll tell you why. So I had the reverse of that happen to me. I've had guys on LinkedIn hit me up and try to treat LinkedIn like it's like
I've
Hinge.
Heard of that.
And I've had to like tell them like, no, like LinkedIn is like a networking site. So I think it's pretty bad if they would use like a dating thing, like vice versa.
I have heard of that so many times. They're like, oh, people use LinkedIn for like dating now. And I'm like, why? Yeah, there's like so many dating platforms. Like LinkedIn is supposed to be for like work.
It's like for work, and it's like my professional headshots on there too. And I'm like, why is this guy like DMing me on LinkedIn? I think it's about a job. And he's like, you want to go get like dinner? And I'm like, no. Like, no. Like, no. Would you read my credentials and be like, oh, damn, she's really hot. Like, I should like.
Oh my God, look at her job. She works at the Real.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, she works at the Real. She was in tech sales. Like, whoa.
Oh. That's my kind of girl.
Yeah. Like, let me take her to dinner.
She's my kind of girl. We're both in tech.
Like the amount of times this happened to me and I'm like, oh my God, like what?
I don't know. Something about the real.
I don't know. Something about LinkedIn.
Anyways, Miami dating scenario. A guy you just met wants to take you to a rooftop bar in his Lamborghini. But he talks about crypto the entire time.
Oh God.
Or New York City dating scenario. A guy you just met insists on taking you to a trendy underground bar, but only after making you wait 30 minutes while he finishes a quick work call. He then spends the whole date bragging about his finance job and how he barely sleeps.
The second one has definitely, not the work call, not the same scenario, but definitely has happened to me where I've gone on dates with finance bros and they always talk about work.
Yeah.
That was like traumatizing. I would have to say though, the first one, the crypto bros are, oh my God, relentless. Like on a Saturday.
They are insanity.
At least the finance guys, like they'll talk about their job, I feel like for 4 or 5 minutes or like an hour. And then they'll just be like drunk. And then they just like don't care. Like a lot of them. But like the crypto guys would be like, did you see what's going on with crypto right now?
Did you see the Solana?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see it just went up? Like,
oh my God. The cats.
Yeah, like they have like 10 different
crypto cats.
Yeah, they have like 10 different crypto things too, and then they like open it up and like, oh my god,
I'll send you crypto.
Yeah, they'd be like, I could send you crypto. Like I could make that happen for you. They're like, I could make you
a coin. It'll be called Ally coin.
The Al coin. Like they're like, this Lamborghini, I bought it with crypto.
When they're probably renting it.
Yeah, they're probably renting it, and they probably take like a ton of pictures in front of the Lambo. Like
those are the worst. Typically, when a guy is like showing off like that, like they don't have a lot.
You just immediately got to run for the hills because they will probably make you take pictures of them in front of that Lambo.
And it's so embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, I would just like get like my finger in every single picture if I was like, or just like when the guys take pictures and like the guys who like will take pictures of you and they just really don't care and they just like take a blurry or like with flash when there's no flash. Like I do some shit like that.
Okay. Last one. Miami. Absolutely not to the guy who invites you on his boat as a first date, but asks you to bring snacks, drinks, and a couple of your hottest friends. That is such a reality in Miami.
It's so true that has happened.
Or New York City. Absolutely not to the guy who expects you to walk a mile to the next subway station in heels because cabs are too expensive.
I'd have to say the second one. I'll tell you why. The first one, we could pretend he fell overboard. And
or you could just like have fun on a boat for a day and not see him ever again.
Yeah, and not talk to him. If I'm with my friends, like it'd be fine because like we could all, kind of like roast him. But I feel like the second one, if I'm like walking alone in New York with heels, like I don't want to walk a mile and like my heel gets stuck in like a subway grate. That has happened to me too.
And if he's complaining that cabs are too expensive, like that's already
a red flag. That's a red flag for me because I'm like, if he's complaining about that, like what else is he going to complain about?
He's going to complain about everything.
Exactly. And
he's going to be a complainer.
And I don't date complainers. I could never. Like please spare me. Like,
what is your biggest ick?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I feel like when a guy just puts in no effort, like
it's like, why are you even with me?
When they will be like, oh, like I want to take you out. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like you can plan a date. Like let me know when. And they're like, they don't answer. And then they're all talk. They have like amnesia. And like 2 weeks later, they're like, I want to take you out. It's always the same line too.
I never understand that.
Yeah,
I'm always convinced that they either have someone, like they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like they have like a mental disability. Like, I don't, because like they literally act like they get amnesia.
They have amnesia or something.
They're confused about themselves.
Yeah.
Because that nowadays, like that is like a very
real thing. Yeah.
Like I never understand, like what is it that they're like, it's like a game that people play.
Right. I just don't get it.
I dealt with a guy like that once, that he literally would always message me, oh, we need to hang out. And I'll be like, okay, like let's hang out. And then he would just not answer. I'd be like, I'm free like this week, not answer. Then I would go out and I would be like hanging out with my friends. I would post it. Yeah. Oh, way to invite me.
I hate when I say that. I get so triggered by that.
I sent him a voice message and I was like, why would I invite you to hang out with me when you literally are always telling me that we should hang out? I tell you, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, this happened like 20 times.
Yeah.
And you clearly don't want to hang out. Because you just like...
It's like you clearly don't want to hang out. And then they get like mad at you when you make other plans with like your friends. Or even if you go on like another date with someone else who like actually puts an effort. They get like so butthurt. And I'm like, wait, they didn't put any effort to begin with.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so annoying. That's probably my biggest thing because if a guy's not putting an effort from day one, he either A, doesn't like you that much, like you said, B, in another relationship, or like C, just confused with himself, which is fine, but like don't drag me into the confusion. Like stay over there confused. Like don't drag me into it.
Enough confused people.
Yeah. I've been confused enough times about other stuff, so like I don't need to.
Maybe they just can't afford you.
That's fine, man.
I can afford her next week. Yeah. Oh wait, this week came up and I can't afford her
this week. I'm like,
next week we gotta hang out. Oh wait, I still can't afford her.
I still can't afford her. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine, but like, don't involve me.
Just don't
like,
even message. If you got a struggling life. Like focus
don't-
on yourself,
just
bro.
Stay in your lane over there, and I'll be in my lane over here. And it's like, fine. But like, yeah, I would say effort. I said that to who I'm currently with, and he was like, yeah, I totally agree. He's like, my biggest thing is like quality time. I'm like, yeah, he makes time. He plans stuff. I also like don't like guys who can't plan stuff too.
Yeah.
Like same kind of thing when they're like, yeah, I'll like see you when I see you. I'm like, no. I'm like, I won't see you. I'm like, I won't see you at all. I'm John Cena. I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm dead.
like literally.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And what is your Instagram so everyone can follow you?
So my Instagram is at Ally Langan. Ally is ALLY, and then my last name Langan, LANGIN.
Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.